What's good? What's good? What's good, sports world? What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know who I am. Andre the Torch Robinson, the Firestarter, is in the building, of course, with another one of those Firestarter Scroll Patrol. All right. If you don't know what Scroll Patrol is, it's where we go down the social media timeline and we look up, all the fun, exciting topics to talk about. I'm going to shout you out, too. I'm going to give you props on what you post, all right? Because, social media is a big thing. So something different, something new. You may get some sports. You may get some real life shit right here. You know what I'm saying? And who better to have on the show, you know what I mean, this week than none other than my guy, the real shit on Friday nights, doing this thing, big Friday night light guy, giving you the best in football sports talk, the Alphabets Football Talk Show. My guy, Marcus the Alphabets, is in the building. What's good, Marcus?
What's up, Torch? What's up, baby?
Torch? What's up, baby? You doing all right? You already know. It's good around here. It's good in the hood, man. It's all good in the field. We having a good time. Football has been quite interesting. Basketball, they shaking it up a little bit with the basketball. Baseball's over. The Texas Rangers. I know you happy about the Texas Rangers winning the World Series, all that. Make sure y'all like and share, man. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. All right, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take y'all posts. And we're going to scroll patrol. We might troll it a little bit too. You know what I mean? All right. So, Marcus, first and foremost, I saw something real interesting. We got to get right to it. I saw something real interesting before I get to scrolling. And it was about ref errors. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, independent contractors are reviewing games of pivotal, importance. And now they're starting to conduct these, what we call ref error type of, reviews. My question to you is, should they do this more? And to give you a little more premise, it was on ESPN that I guess they looked into the LSU title game against Iowa. Now, we all know what happened with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That situation, there was some controversy on Angel Reese doing this, giving you the "you can't see me" sign. John Cena signed to Caitlin Clark, even though we all know Caitlin Clark did this a bunch of times during the season. So, interesting enough, this is the game that they decide to put the news out that refs, they're doing independent ref error reviews. Your thoughts on just the fact that they did it on this game, and should they be doing this in other games too?
Well, sports is the one place where we look for equality and fairness. As long as there's human officiating, there's always going to be human error. But if there's a way to review certain things, do it. These are people's livelihoods. A coach loses a game on a bad call, he gets fired. A player makes a bad off of a ref's decision. Benched. Cut. So what you're looking for is equality. Pull it down the line. But I have a saying. The football guys give it, and the football guys take it away. So when your team benefit, okay. But you're also going to have some players that go against you. And I need that same energy. I need you right here. So hey, when it benefits you, hey, love it. But you can't complain when you get screwed on a play either. Like against the New York Giants. When there's pass interference in the end zone. You were celebrating then. But now all of a sudden, in Cincinnati, all the refs are against plays. It goes both ways. So if you're cool with that, be cool when it goes against you too.
Shout out to Josh Bailey. What's up? Shout out to Dalton Smith. Shout out to Ian Kelly. Shout out to Sharon Mullen. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Make sure you like and share. This is the Firestarter's Scroll Patrol, where we we scroll looking for stuff to talk about that's on social media. And the first thing that popped up today was this ref error situation. So Marcus, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Like LA Knight would say, let me talk to you for a minute. I think that it's a good thing only if the refs are held accountable. To give even more premise, they're saying that most of these games, like 91% of the games, are called right. I guess in this one, they're saying it was below like 88%. Wow, I didn't know that they really actually calculated that. That was actually a stat or something that they actually was doing like that. But come to find out, they do, and they do it often. This is just the first that we starting to hear about, refs doing individual studies on these pivotal games. So if they're holding refs accountable, I'm fine and dandy with that, because I mean, just because you human, and I get it, we make mistakes, but how many people get away with doing 80% of their job? How many people get away with doing 70% of their job and be able to still have a job? Especially when you're talking about a sport. This is sport, and like you said, you look for equality in sports. Now I know that I know that we've seen in many games as such that it's not called fairly, or it's not called down the line. And then on top of that, the evolution of gambling makes it even more interesting when some of these calls are made, some of these things happen.
Fantasy football.
Yep, fantasy football. The
fantasy baseball.
Fantasy basketball. Absolutely. I noticed that you mentioned the Bills-Giants game. I will say that happened twice. Not once, but twice. Happened 2 plays in a row. Last 2 plays. The last play, they would have got Wilder for the initial contact, but he was still pass interfered, which still would have gave the Giants another play. And on that play, I think they would have ran Saquon Barkley, in which Buffalo probably would have went home disappointed. I thought they should have did that from the beginning. I guess that's a here nor there thing, because this is Scroll Patrol, and I don't want to talk too much about certain things because we got a lot to scroll down and get to. But I will say that you do make definite valid point with that. So if you benefit from it, just don't cry when you don't, And I think a lot of these refs need to be held accountable for some of the buffoonery that goes on with the calling. I mean, Marcus, they should hire me and you. We'd get out there and probably do a better job. Because we can see it from the TV, we damn sure can see it up close in person.
It's just tough. It's too much at stake.
Yeah,
that's this is the coaches. The families got to move. You know, it's a tough situation.
It's a tough situation.
I'd like to see the
graded,
the crews, and then
who
has the
highest grade
gets playoffs and Super Bowl and World Series, college football playoffs, or Final Four. That's what I'd like to see.
Absolutely. For sure. Now, before we get to scrolling, y'all, I want to shout out NCW. They meat raffle and basket raffles coming up. $10 if you from the 716 area. Saturday, November 18th at 5 p.m. Shout out to Sam Slade and my guy Shadow Cat for the phenomenal wrestling venues that they put on. All right. Now, with that being said, Marcus, let's get to scrolling. I'm gonna start off with one that I did myself before we get into other people's joints, and it pertains to the Cincinnati Bengals game, in which I posted Joe Burrow must have heard my guy Justice General, shout out to him, who'll be on the radio station, talking smack about Joe Burrow can't break away from sacks. Your thoughts on that? Your thoughts on that, Marcus, before we get on. Now, I will tell you that I was one who said that he was a fool for saying that he was silly for saying that. And then we watch the game and we see Joe Burrow breaking sacks, breaking tackles, getting away. I don't know if he thought that Joe Burrow didn't have it in him because he has a 22.9 sack percentage, I guess. Joe Burrow has one of the highest sack percentages, but failed to realize that Joe Burrow is a big athletic guy who definitely can mobile.
Read a scouting report
coming out of LSU.
It's like, come on,
it's
lazy.
It's lazy.
You have to go back. You have to
watch.
Now, has Joe Burrow been sacked a lot?
Yeah.
But it's not because he's immobile. I had somebody in the chat room call him a statue. He's not a statue. Now, Cincinnati has a terrible offensive line. I think they took 9 sacks against Tennessee. That one that they came back and won. But Joe Burrow is not a statue. Even Stevie Wonder could see. Ray Charles could see. Heller could hear that Joe Burrow's not a statue. We all know we had the calf injury. See, what's with the echo?
Oh, it's starting to echo again.
No, it's been echoing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't hear it on my end. Hold on. Let me hear something real quick. Testing, y'all. Don't go nowhere. I just want to.
La.
Like I'm echoing on your side.
Go. Oh. Yeah, you are a little bit. You are
not a little bit.
A lot of bit.
Yeah, it's not too loud, but yeah, I can hear the echo. I definitely.
Sharon says, "What's
up with the echo?"
Yeah. Oh, she said, "What's up with the echo?" Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see if I can try something real quick.
What's up, chocolate girl?
Yeah, I can. All right.
Are you there? So, yeah, I just want to say Joe Burrow is not a statue. He has taken a lot of sacks. But Cincinnati's offensive line has been terrible, and they've done a lot to try to fix those issues. They spent a lot of money in draft. They picked up the left tackle, I believe, from Kansas City and brought him over, and you're starting to see that Burrow's getting a little bit healthier. And yes, yeah, Sharon, Joe Burrow has been sacked a lot, but he's not a statue. He's not a statue. It's kind of like, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, David Carr used to play with the Houston Texans. He was a very mobile quarterback, but he was sacked a lot because the was terrible. It's still echoing. You see Bryce Young with Carolina. He sacked a lot. Because he's immobile. It's because his offensive line sucks. So, don't take a person getting sacked as them being immobile. And I see you're still the shop. Mona lets me go every day.
You said what?
Sharon says Joe Burrow has been sacked a lot. But it's not because he can't move. But when you're taking pressure right in the middle of the offensive line, I mean, nobody's going to escape that. Y'all remember the 2007 Patriots? The 2007 Giants? When Tom Brady was running for his life? I guess I'm still here I'm here by myself. So I guess Torch will be back. Let me see here. My Special Olympic athletes got first place, second place, and third place. Congratulations, Dalton. I know you always over there doing big things. We're proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing. Love to see you doing big things over there. Dalton, Mr. Weezy's box. Yeah.
Marcus, you got a pair of headphones?
Do I have a pair?
Yep.
I'll jump out and jump back in. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead and jump back in a second. We get them. So I won't echo. All right. Sorry about that. Marcus is gonna go get some headphones, y'all. Shout out to everybody tuned in. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, because I don't hear no echo now. Yeah, nope. No echo. All right. But anyway, so for people who think that Joe Burrow is not a noble, I don't know. Bro. I don't know where they got that from. That's kind of crazy to me. I knew that coming out of LSU. That he was. And I just didn't want to say too much while we was on the radio, even though it was a good conversation between me and Justice and Mookie and my guy Jamal. But yeah, no, Joe Burrow definitely can get it, can boogie, definitely can boogie. All right. Scrolling. All right, I'm scrolling now. Now I'm scrolling. I'm looking for y'all stats now. Let's look at some of these stats on social media real quick. Let's see here. Minnesota Vikings announced Justin Jefferson has been designated to return to practice. Probably good for the Minnesota Vikings, right? Put your comments in the comment section. By the way, you can join the conversation too. You see the call line down here, 716-954-5209. But yeah, probably good for the Vikings, even though Kirk Cousins is done for the season. My question is, are they going to keep Kirk Cousins? There's been conversations on whether they're going to keep Kirk or not, because Kirk only gets you to a certain place when it comes to the playoffs, which is usually the first round. My sentiments is I don't think they should get rid of Kirk Cousins. I know he's an older quarterback, but I mean, you could draft one. Somebody said you could draft one, but is this draft coming up looking good? Does it look good coming up? I don't know. I don't know if it's really a good draft for quarterbacks. I know Caleb Williams. Everybody's talking about Caleb Williams or the Michael Sims Jr.'s or the guy from North Carolina, May. Talking about him. They're also talking about Oregon's quarterback, Bo Nix. I don't think any of those guys are going to be as good as the quarterback class from C.J. Stroud's class. I don't even think they'll be that good. Just because, again, sometimes competition matters, and then what you do matters. What your coaching matters too. So it all depends on that as well. System wise, you got to be in the right system as well. So we'll see. But I don't think that they should get rid of Kirk Cousins at all. I don't. I think Kirk Cousins definitely puts up numbers and competes. He's definitely a competitive quarterback. It's not like he's just like a drop in a bucket piece of trash. All right, William Fontaine said because this will be a commander next year. He said no. How about them Cowboys? Somebody said what's up, what's good. How about them Cowboys? I don't know. Cowboys, can they beat legitimate football teams? Is a question. I guess that's the thing for all winning teams right now. A lot of winning teams in the league. Can they win games when they play against good competition? Shout out to the Buffalo Stream, right? By the way, ABA basketball. Shout out to them to phenomenal first two games. They won both of them against the Rochester Kings. ABA football basketball is back. It's definitely back in the 716 area. So shout out to the Buffalo Stream. Can't wait to see them
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's in your background? I hear the little scratching.
That is not me.
It's not me.
Yeah, turn it down a little bit. There you go. Talk. Go ahead and talk.
Is that better?
Is that better?
Yes, a lot better. Yes. A lot better. I don't hear no scratching, no echoing, no nothing. Yep. A lot better. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm not even going to talk about Rasul Douglas coming to Buffalo. I'm not talking about that. Taysom Hill. We'll talk about Taysom Hill. Marcus, this was yours. This is your post, Marcus. The cheat code. You called Taysom Hill the cheat code. Over the last 4 weeks, Taysom Hill has more fantasy rushing points than Alvin Kamara and Bijan Robinson, more receiving fantasy points than Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, and Calvin Ridley, more passing fantasy points than Brett Ripken and Malik Willis. So now we like to Taysom, huh? We on Taysom's side now. So
He's a weapon.
He's a weapon.
Explain your post.
He's a weapon. The dude does everything. Quarterback, tight end, running back, wide receiver. He's a cheat code in fantasy.
Too.
A cheat code in fantasy. Well, my question to you is then why he ain't got more production than he do? Is it because maybe he need to be used more? What's going on here? Are you saying the Saints need to use him a lot more?
What I'm saying is,
sometimes
when you do a lot. What is it? What do they call it? The jack of all trades. Master of none. He's an all right quarterback. He's an all right tight end. He's an all right running back. But he's a big ass guy who can do a lot of things. I think Cordell Stewart. Slash. Can do a whole bunch of things. But he's bigger. If Tim Tebow had embraced it, he could have been something like that. But I think Taysom's
faster.
Okay. You explained it good enough. Good enough for me. I wonder what the thoughts is in the comment section. I wonder what they think about you and your liking for Taysom Hill.
He's helped me win a couple of fantasy
championships.
See, I knew it had to be something. Fantasy. All right. This is from Dev Black. Shout out to the Sports Wave. He posted this and it says, "You can't play for 5 or 6 teams and be a Hall of Famer. You were never the man. You were a journeyman." This is what Shaquille O'Neal supposedly said on Dwight Howard being a Hall of Famer. Uh-oh. My God.
Yeah, that's gonna start some
problems.
You know, they beefed all the way back in the day when Dwight Howard wore that outfit to the slam dunk contest. And you know, Shaq wore that Superman tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of felt like he was trying to
impersonate him.
And Shaq just
never let that go.
But Dwight Howard is
soft
cream
ice cream from
McDonald's. Soft serve. Charmin tissue snuggles.
Hey,
how you that big in that song?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Does he have any rings? I don't think he's got any rings.
No, I want to say no.
He came close when he was with Orlando.
But let me make sure. I want to say no.
And he used to drive Kobe crazy. When he got traded over there to the Lakers. How are you that big?
He has one.
He has one?
Yeah, his second stint with the Lakers, COVID, 2020.
Okay.
Yeah,
the bubble championship.
Yes.
Asterisk.
Yo, a lot of people say that they don't think that should be an asterisk championship because they had to play when there was no fans.
Hell, that should be easier. You ain't got 20,000 people screaming at you.
And they didn't have to travel like that either.
You locked up in one place. You ain't got to travel. You living in a hotel. Like, stop it.
Yeah. I still call it a bubble championship. I call it an asterisk championship.
He's just mad because he's soft.
Yeah, that's my opinion. We ain't gonna talk about the other stuff with him, but we'll leave that. Wayne Solomon, we're talking sports. Shout out to him. Wayne is my guy, cool as hell. He said, "I can't stand Chris Collinsworth." He said he's entirely too biased.
Is he? Here's what I see, George. As a fan, people gotta stop being so sensitive. When somebody says something derogatory about your team. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan. I have a lot of Cowboys fans that get mad at Troy Aikman. I'm like, who better could critique the Cowboys than Troy Aikman? Oh, he's always hating on the Cowboys. I'm like, bro, he's like a three-time champion from the Cowboys. So I don't see how he's hating. You got to take the good and the bad. People just want to hear good stuff about their team. You know, you got to see the blemishes too. That acne. Your skin is smooth. No,
Your
it
skin
ain't.
is smooth. No, it ain't.
You got that Nestle
You
Crunch
got that
face.
Nestle Crunch face.
I cannot stop this. Stop this now. All right. Ian Kelly posted about the Las Vegas Raiders being 4-5. Looked like a new improved team against the Giants under the leadership of Antonio Pierce, who used to be a Giant, by the way. My question to you is, I don't know where he went. All right. My question is to Marcus when he comes back and everybody that's tuned in is, do you think the Raiders should keep Antonio Pierce as a coach? And do you think the Raiders will somehow salvage the season that they've had so far? Um, I'll answer it. I'll answer first, and I'll say that I think it would be good to have Antonio Pierce get an opportunity at coaching, seeing that he's played already and he's already kind of been down the line as a coordinator with the Raiders. Usually, when you change leadership, usually players start to play better for you, just because maybe they didn't like certain things that they were accustomed to, or uh, had to deal with when it comes to certain leadership. But I think it would be a good idea. But I think they would have to do something about Jimmy Garoppolo, though, because to be honest with you, in order for that team to strive and do more, I think two things need to happen. The offensive coordinating needs to change totally with the Raiders. Uh, Devontae Adams not being happy, number one, and not getting a lot of targets this year is a hurtful situation, especially when you spent all that money on him. Two, Hunter Renfro, who used to be 1,000-yard receiver, who at one point, I think it was last week, only had like 82 yards for the season. Like, that's nuts to me. That is absolutely crazy when you go from being an 1,000-yard receiver the year before to being a guy who doesn't even have 200 yards on the season, and we're halfway through the season. That is bad. That is god awful. That's catastrophic to me. And then Josh Jacobs, who was the rushing leader last year, he ain't this year, and not even close. Um, they would have to do something to revamp that offense in order for Antonio Pierce to have any chance of being successful. And then the defense would have to get better as well. So that's what I'll say to that. I'm gonna mute myself for 2 seconds. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to. I got an emergency at work. I'm going to have to do this later because I have an emergency right now. I'm sorry, dealing with this at work. So I will do this later for you guys.